to this. Check out. Go best friend, 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 go best friend. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
So guys, we're gonna be reacting to a scary story. I'm not gonna be watching it because I already watched this. I already watched this, and I'm not gonna have scary dreams tonight. So this is for y'all. This is Aurelia. If y'all wanna watch her, it's gonna show up anyway. Bye guys. Two stories, guys, and that's
Hey y'all, it is me, Zarella, and I'm back with another video on my motherfucking channel. That just sounds like jibber jabber. But anyways, y'all know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, we back with another video. We back reacting to those horror stories. The people that did watch the video, y'all seem to love it. So we're just gonna continue to do these. These are really fun. Once we're done
guys, tomorrow I might do like a Roblox.
I'm actually going to do
Roblox
another
times tomorrow.
reaction series
So stay tuned. It's gonna be on live, so y'all gotta be ready for that.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. I should record that after this. I might do that.
And I promise y'all, if we go somewhere,
I was gonna do this at night, but I really
I'm gonna do a very long vlog
today, so
this time because the other one was short
today,
and I didn't like it at all. But I wanted to post it for y'all. Next time, when I want to do a prank, I might do a prank on my little sister that she's home alone. So stay tuned for that, guys. Coming on tomorrow and Friday. Stay tuned for that.
Alright.
This happened when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
My best friend Anthony wanted me to come over for the night since his parents would be gone all weekend. I rode my bike over and put it in his backyard before letting myself in through his back door. We played basically every video game we had, from FIFA all the way to Call of Duty, with popcorn and other junk food spilled out all over the floor. As the night progressed, we moved from video games to watching half a movie and getting bored, to doing prank calls at close to 10 o'clock.
This is me and
Anthony made a few calls to different pizza places. When it was my turn, I just dialed a few random numbers in hopes to get someone at their house. On, say, my fourth attempt, I finally reached somebody. A guy with a deep and rough voice picked up, answering with a yeah instead of a hello. Anthony's laughing in the background made me stumble with my words mid-sentence, ultimately cracking up into laughter. I had never done a prank call, so I sucked at it. The guy on the other end was silent. I regained a straight face and tried to continue with the call. It went something like this. Sir, would it be alright if I borrowed one of the wheels from your car?
Bye, Sheena.
What's your name, kid?
Bye.
My name is Bob.
Bye, girl. Nobody wants you. Bye.
You sure it's not Anthony?
He got
It hit me like a brick. I looked up at Anthony, whose face was noticeably full of fear. I hung up the phone, not wanting to be on the line with whoever that was for another second. Anthony, who the hell was that? I asked him. I don't know, he told me.
so random.
Does your caller ID info display your name or something? No, it shows my dad's name. We hopped on the computer and did some research, trying to figure out how it was possible to get someone's name through their phone number. It didn't make sense how he could get Anthony's name so quickly. He was way too young at the time to be on any of those personal information sharing websites. We ended up asking a question on Yahoo Answers, since no one had a similar experience. The question turned up no answers. I suggested he call his dad, but he said he wasn't supposed to have anybody over for the weekend, so he didn't want to call. We planned on sleeping in the living room, so we just resumed watching the movie that we hadn't finished from earlier. Right after the phone call had left my mind, me and Anthony looked at each other when we heard his front storm door opening, and then the doorknob to the front door began to turn. It only was able to turn about halfway before the lock restricted it.
Throw that couch in front of the
Anthony
couch.
turned off the TV, and I went over to the window
In front of the couch. Throw that couch in front of that door.
to see who it was.
Here we go
I
with the big
spread the
peek.
blinds open. There was a tall guy standing outside.
What the hell?
He noticed the blinds moving and turned to look at me. I practically threw the blinds back into place. Me and Anthony hid in the kitchen, listening for any more noises.
Grab a knife,
We heard
dummy.
the sound of the gate to the backyard opening, as it was right
The knife is right here, and y'all ain't got nothing in your hand.
outside the kitchen window. God damn it, I said. I forgot to shut the back door. Anthony urged me to run and shut it. I made it to the hallway leading to his back door.
How you
He
forget to
froze.
shut the back door?
There was a silhouette
You little
standing
dummy.
outside the back door. I don't think he noticed me, but
You finna die today.
into the house. He opened the door and stepped inside. I tiptoed to the kitchen and motioned for Anthony to follow me upstairs. We made it to his room as quietly as possible, pulling the door shut to avoid making any noise. We crawled under his bed. He had cloth covering the bottom of his bed, so you couldn't see anything under it unless you actually moved the cloth.
You gonna move that cloth,
The
best
doors
believe.
downstairs all opened, each one getting closer to the stairs. Thumps finally began up the stairs, and he was
That's when
right
I
outside
just
the
know
door
that
now.
I'm dead.
The door to the room opened.
He know y'all in there, dummies.
I could hear Anthony's breathing. It was
Y'all
too
should have
loud.
got a window.
Footsteps moved over to the closet, and then the closet opened. I could hear the coat hangers being slid around as the fabric of the jackets and coats rubbed against each other. Footsteps moved over to the bed and stopped. I felt like my heart was about to explode out of my chest. Anthony's breathing was too loud.
Shut
I had to
up.
cover his mouth with my hand. Nothing but silence in the room now. We laid still for so long, I almost thought he wasn't even in the room anymore.
You there?
I moved my hand away from Anthony's mouth and whispered in his ear,
Oh my
"You think we can make a run for it?"
loud ass. He was like, "You think we gonna make a rifle?" I know he was loud. The thing. That man still right there in front of that bed.
He was about to answer when the most disturbing, memory-haunting scream I'd ever heard filled my ears as Anthony was seemingly dragged out from under the bed.
Oh shit.
I crawled out and saw him struggling with the man. I
Almost
desperately
from the back
looked
of
around
the
for
head.
anything to use as a weapon. I settled with the
Dummy,
screwdriver
that's-
sitting on his nightstand.
Okay, the screwdriver will work. That don't look like no damn screwdriver. I would have grabbed the lamp and said, "Bop." That's oh my god. That's all you
I hurried over to the man and drove the
Stab.
screwdriver into his back. He let go of Anthony as he let out a scream of agony, giving us time to get the hell out of the house. Running onto the road would give away our position too easily. It would take too long to make it to his neighbor's house.
You really need to
We dove
sit
for the
down.
tree line in the woods and took cover behind a bush, watching the house.
I'm gonna stop at this one because this is very
The
long.
back door opened as the man stepped outside, looking around the backyard. He then looked out to the woods. I felt his eyes pass me as he scanned through the
You promised me that you hadn't come to sow discord. Now look at us. Take all.
tree line. It seemed that it was too dark for him to see us. Then, he turned his head back in our direction. I ducked behind the bush.
Oh my god.
Joe, he's coming. What? Dude, get up, we gotta run. He was right. The man was approaching us fast. How could he have seen us? We ran through the woods with the leaves crunching under us, giving away our position. When Anthony tripped over something, I crouched down with him.
Of course.
We had run far enough.
face. Look at her face.
Not
That'll
even
be me,
20
though.
seconds later,
Y'all, I be getting so mad. I'm sorry, I'm pausing now. I'm talking too much. One of y'all commented, y'all said, "Zarela, you too loud." But anyways, y'all, I hate when people be tripping in the movies. They just be falling over everything, falling over air. Like, how you trip over air? Like, but that'll be me. Like, for real, I'm so clumsy. I be talking about people, but I know that'll be me. Y'all, if we ever get in a situation where we're together and then something like this happen and I fall and trip, just save your own life, okay?
oncoming footsteps from the direction we were running from came fast. They slowed down only 2 trees away from us as we lay face down in the leaves. Moments later, the footsteps take off in another direction.
Good.
We waited until we could no longer hear them and took off back in the direction of the house. While running, over the sound of leaves crushing and my heavy breathing, I could swear I heard leaves crushing from behind us. We made it back to his backyard, into his house. and this time remembering to shut the back door.
And lock it.
We were now able to call the police. Anthony stayed on the line with them while I patrolled the back windows, making sure nobody was out there.
Oh, y'all ain't got no curtains.
It was so dark, though, I couldn't see anything. So I did something that seemed stupid today. I turned on his backyard lights, and immediately in the distance, over by the woods, I saw him standing in front of a big tree. He turned off back into the woods and disappeared out of sight. That was the last time me or Anthony ever saw him. I would be lying if I told you we heard the occasional knocks at our windows or something cliche. No, that was it. 5 years have passed and nothing has...
5 years? You still going over... You still going over his house? I'm sorry.
So guys, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.